welcome to part 1 of our new formatting for our podcast. This is Knit the Books. I'm Allie.
And I'm Vicky.
Thank you guys for joining us and trying this out with us.
Yes, and in this episode, we're going to talk about our WIPs.
Yes, so our current projects. I'll show this one off first. In my Whimsy Stitches bag,
I love the colors in that bag.
I worked on my Halloween socks from Haverland. I showed you guys last time. I'll show you the one that's finished. This is the final girls colorway, I'm pretty sure. And since we are breaking up our segments differently, instead of doing show notes like I've been doing it, I'm just going to do it in the description box below. So I'll link to everything in the description box below. We'll see how that goes and try that out for a little while. But these I started last Halloween, and then I just kind of put them down and never really picked them up again. Actually, if you remember from the last episode, I forgot that I had that. I took these with me. I went to a 2-day conference this week, and I brought this with me to knit on. And when I got in the car to go to the conference, I was a passenger, so I didn't have to drive. I was on the tow. And I'm saying that because I want you guys to see how much I got done.
You go!
I was on, like, the middle of this yellow stripe. And by the end of the first day, I think I was somewhere around here. And the second day, I didn't really knit a whole lot during the sessions on the first day. The second day, the sessions were kind of repetitive from the last couple of years. So I did knit a little bit more. So I knit the rest of the foot. I did my Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And I started on the leg. If I had knit on the way home, I think I would have finished it.
I bet you would have.
But I didn't. My hands were kind of hurting, and we were talking about stuff, so I just didn't really feel like knitting. So I almost have a new pair of socks.
Awesome. And they're beautiful colors.
Yes, and everyone thought it was super funny that I was knitting. Like, in my group, when we were driving up there, my boss drove the car that I rode in, and she looked back and saw me. She goes, "Are you knitting?" I was like, "Yeah." she thinks it's funny.
Oh, funny. Yeah, I would have taken mine to a meeting or two I had this week, but
I think my goal is to get all of them knitting so they have something to do during these long conferences.
That would be fun. Actually, there's several of us at work that are knitting now. Mm-hmm. And so we're doing weekly lunches. We didn't get to do them this past week. We've been short. It's been spring break at work, so we've been short-handed, so I didn't get to knit with them this week. So,
well, hopefully you guys can get that back up next
Tuesday.
Week. Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. So my first, and it's in my Golden Girls bag. Thank you for being a friend, and it's by Utterly Adorable Knits. I love this little bag. Well, I'm working, and we're not going to talk about it too much now because we're going to talk about them later. But I started a hat, and I'm actually in decreases, and it's green for St. Patrick's.
For the green along.
For the green along.
Which we'll also talk about more in tomorrow's
episode. But anyway, I've just about finished this little hat. It's just a basic roll brim hat. I made it a little bigger.
All right, so I also worked on, here's my big sweater bag that Caffeinated Gert made for me for my birthday last year. I worked on my sweater a little bit. I think I've added like maybe a stripe, but this is the Granita or Granito, I already forgot, by Joji Locatelli. As you can see, I've added, like I said, I think I've added the white stripe and then this little bit of the purple. So still in the top part of the body, but
you're getting there.
It'll get done eventually. The speckled is Northbound Knitting Mosaic colorway. The purple is from Rockin' String Creations. It's from a mini skein kit. It doesn't have a colorway name as far as I know. And then the white is from the Seattle Skies Gradient Kit from Lydia. And this lighter purple is also from a mini skein set from Rockin' String. I don't think it has a colorway name, though. So
that purple just pops in that. Okay, and for my I've only been working on one other thing. And we talked about it last time. It was my Pure Joy that I had started a long time ago and put it up. And I got it back out. And Allison helped me figure out where I was. And I didn't have hardly any on that wedge. And I'm almost done with that wedge. It's growing.
Yeah, you got quite a bit done.
Quite a bit done. And I actually am going to be able to follow the pattern because I cheated and bought another one of these. Mm-hmm. So what I have left over, because I don't think it'll take much of, you can have for something. Because I know you love that colorway too.
The Zephyr.
The Zephyr.
They can't see it.
The Zephyr, it's hedgehog fibers. It's got pinks and purples and yellows and turquoises. It's got all kind of colors in there.
Lots of speckles.
Lots of speckles. I really do like their yarn.
Mm-hmm. And they are now at
Bliss.
Yeah, I was gonna say call it a local yarn store, but it's not really local to us. It's in Nashville, so but it's my favorite yarn store.
Yeah,
so
I love to go there.
They have Hedgehog now and Primrose, so I was super excited.
Fun. So you've got one more?
I've got one more. This is in my caffeinated knitting bag. This was sewed up by Falula. Misstitch Marks the Spot. Daniela designed the fabric and had her make bags, and we gave them a bunch away forever ago. I love this bag. And if you watched Caffeinated Knitting, you might know what's in this bag. In here is my scrappy sock yarn blanket. I don't know why, but the other day I decided I wanted to knit on it, so I got it out and I added this square, which is Pinkie Pie colorway, and this square, which is the Applejack colorway. Both of these are from Brew City Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? Brew City Yarn?
So.
Or Brew City Knits, maybe.
Maybe.
And I love their stuff. This one, and this one all came from their Harry Potter mini skein set. And then this entire column, all the way down here, is from their My Little Pony set. I have one more, but I need to knit another row before I can add that other one. But here's my blanket. I think I've got 30 or 36 squares. I can't remember.
Cool. I need to get my stuff together to do that. I've got a whole lot of mini skeins, and I could do them in pattern like you're doing.
It's very fun. Yeah, I don't really have a plan with it. I just pick a color out. But I have so many. I'll show you the back. I have so many ends to weave in, and that's one of the reasons I don't pick it up. I think is because it's like, well, I don't want to weave in my ends. So my plan is, because now that it's a square again, I'm going to start and go in the row. So before I can add like this square, I need to weave in any ends that are in this column. And then when I do this square, I have to weave in ends in this column before I add the square. So that way I won't have to spend like a lot of time weaving ends, but it still will get done.
Yeah, a little at a time.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Because that's how I do mine. Colorful. I do a row and then I do a column.
Well, fun.
And I love these. I love the Brew City knits yarn. It is super nice. So, and I have more of her mini skeins to add, and I would like to get some more. That's all you have for whips?
That's all. That's it.
All right. So this is, it's gonna be around 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less after I edit a little bit. This is part 1 of this episode. I don't know how to call this, but this was our works in progress episode. So tomorrow we are going to be talking about hats for kiddos. So we'll see you guys.
See you tomorrow.